Hey friends, I want to talk about something. This may cost me some friends. Oklahoma's 49th in education, and our superintendent, our state superintendent, has just decided that we need to teach the Bible in schools, public schools. Now, I'm sorry, I disagree. I'm a Christian, but that is not the place. Public school is not the place to teach the Bible. The home, the church, this is where you teach your children the Bible, not public school. Our founding fathers insisted on a separation of church and state for a very sound reason. They just came off of a war with a controlling parent country who had a state religion. Okay, some of you may disagree, but yes, the Anglican Church pretty much ran England. And there's tons and tons of horror stories about religious controlled states throughout Europe and throughout world history. And you only have to look at the Middle East right now, some of the countries where religious police can stop anyone on the street for a violation of religious law and punish them, including a public execution right there on the street. No. You can say, Christianity's not like that. Okay, we may not go to the extreme of a public execution yet, but how far away would it be? How about public shaming? How about online public shaming, now that everything's digital? How about ruining someone's reputation and career? We don't need a religious state. This country was founded on freedom of religion, not a Christian nation. Our founding fathers knew we had to be able to worship without pressure. If you're pressured to worship, if your only reason for worshiping God is fear, that's wrong. If you love God and you want to worship God, that's your choice and you do it, just as I do, in your own way. But you should not be pressured, scared, and forced into it. And now, if you bring in religious studies into the school system, two things are going to happen. Guarantee it. One, it's going to open the door for all religions. Now your students, your poor Christian kids that you didn't want to be endangered, are going to have to learn about Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Wiccan, paganism, who knows what else. Secondly, the time they spend studying these religions is going to eat into the time they have to study the fundamentals that they need, where they're falling behind. We're 49th in education. That's horrible. That is horrible. Ryan Walters needs to be removed from office. I know this policy of his is not going to stand. It'll be rejected by the courts upon appeal. And he's wasting money because now the Oklahoma has to spend money out of its coffers to defend itself in court. This is a mess. We are not, I repeat, not a Christian nation. We are a free nation where you can worship or not who you want when you want. without pressure, without ridicule, without consequences. And the minute we start saying that we are a Christian nation, it just makes me cringe. The words "in God we trust" were not added to our money by the Founding Fathers. They were added in, the 1920s? "In God we trust" was, or "One Nation under God" in the Pledge of Allegiance was added later. The Star-Spangled Banner didn't get adopted until the 1800s, late 1800s or something. I mean, all these ideas that you're thinking came from the Founding Fathers didn't. What came from the Founding Fathers was freedom. Now, the left and the right are both telling us that they're the ones who can save the nation. Left wing and right wing belong to the same bird. These politicians are in it for their own good. They're in it to line their pockets. How else do they, on a meager salary, suddenly accumulate millions and millions of dollars in personal wealth? They're doing insider trading because they know what's coming. And that should be illegal. They get the most incredible benefits package, not only while they're in office, but after they leave office for the rest of their life. That's wrong. When people like my friends cannot afford health care, and these people are getting it for the rest of their life on the best package available, and a retirement for serving just a couple of terms. I mean, you don't have to serve long term in Congress or Senate to be able to retire. And yet they're staying there, they're turning it into a career, and they're making fortunes. We need to oust both houses of the career politicians and bring in new blood. We need to reform campaign donations and campaign financing. We need to reform the benefits package that these people are getting. I'm not opposed to them getting this great benefits package while they're in office, but when they leave office, they lose it. They should. Next, they should be banned from trading. As long as you are in public service, as a representative or senator, federal or state, you should be banned from making trades. No investments in the stock market. No buying shares in companies, because that leads to this insider trading where they are making fortunes. The only people who are willing to push this agenda, third party, the libertarians. Please consider voting third party. If you saw that debacle of a debate, neither one is fit for office. A senile man or a delusional felon. Neither one fit for office. And for those of you who, I can't understand this, you're Christian and you're claiming that you're supporting the orange man, you're supporting Trump because he's supposed to be God's anointed. Wait a minute, this guy is a fraud and a liar and a cheat and a felon now, and you're supporting him? Look, if a felon can't get certain jobs, how about this? A felon cannot serve in the military, and now you're wanting to make a felon the chief executive officer, the commander-in-chief of our military? I'm sorry, that just... Where's the logic in this? Do you not see this? And for the opposite side of the aisle, Joe Biden was incompetent as vice president. He's being handled. You don't see this? He's incapable of talking a coherent speech. The man is too old and he's not well. I know you're probably thinking, oh, we'll get a good vice president behind him so when he's incompetent, we can get somebody else in. Look, cut your losses. Eliminate both candidates from running and vote third party. Bring us in some fresh blood, someone who knows that this is not a Christian nation, but a nation of where you are free to be a Christian. A nation of liberty, a nation of freedom. But please, please do not put any faith in either party. They're just in it for themselves. I beg you to consider.